Welcome to MMA News Official.
Tom Aspinall continues to face heavy criticism following the controversial ending of his fight at UFC 321, where an unfortunate eye poke brought his bout with Cyril Gane to an abrupt halt. Since that night, fans and fighters alike have been divided, some defending Aspinall's decision to stop, while others believe he should have continued. Now, surging heavyweight Walter Walker has joined the debate, slamming the champion for making the heavyweight division look bad. In a recent interview with James Lynch, Walker did not hold back, saying that Aspinall's reaction made the division appear weak. He made the heavyweights look bad because we are big guys, strong guys. This guy poked you in the eye one time. They gave you 5 minutes to recover, and you pulled out of the fight. He made us heavyweights look bad. I think we are like gladiators from the new era, Walker stated. Walker's comments quickly caught fire online, sparking heated discussions about fighter toughness and safety in the octagon. To strengthen his point, he referenced his own experience at UFC 321, where he reportedly broke his leg mid-fight against Lewis Sutherland but continued competing until he won via heel hook. "You need to give your maximum," he explained. "I broke my leg and felt something was wrong, but I kept fighting to the finish. I gave my best because I know I work for the UFC. If something goes wrong, they'll pay for surgery and take care of me. I'm not scared inside the cage." Walker then contrasted his determination with Aspinall's situation, criticizing him for withdrawing after a single eye poke. His remarks reignited the long-running debate over eye pokes in MMA and whether stronger measures should be implemented to prevent them. Veteran referee Herb Dean also weighed in on the issue, confirming that the UFC is preparing to take action. Speaking with Helen Yee, Dean revealed that a meeting is being planned to address the matter, saying, "We have to try something. There's going to be a meeting where we go over that, and definitely something's going to happen." Dean suggested possible rule changes such as automatically deducting a point for eye pokes to discourage carelessness inside the cage. He also shared a concerning revelation that some fighters have admitted to committing fouls intentionally. "I've talked to guys after they retired, and they told me every groin kick they threw was intentional," Dean said, adding that while some fighters are genuinely good people who make mistakes, others know exactly what they are doing. Whether UFC 321 will be the final straw that prompts a rule change remains to be seen, but one thing is certain. Tom Aspinall's controversial night has placed the entire heavyweight division under intense scrutiny. Dana White addressed recent fight-fixing allegations in a sit-down with TMZ, responding to suspicious betting activity surrounding the Isaac Dolgaren vs. Yadier Delvier bout. Dolgaren opened as a heavy favorite, but just before the fight his odds shifted dramatically amid large wagers predicting a first-round finish, which ultimately occurred. The anomalous betting patterns prompted sportsbooks and bettors to raise concerns. Wagers were refunded and Dolgaren was promptly released by the UFC. White explained that UFC officials contacted Dolgaren and his lawyer before the fight to question the unusual wagering and to determine whether the fighter was injured, indebted, or had been approached to influence the outcome. According to White, Dolgaren denied any impropriety and insisted he would win. After the bout concluded by first-round submission, White said the UFC immediately contacted federal authorities, calling the FBI and meeting with investigators to report the activity and provide evidence. White described his conversations with the FBI, including a direct call with FBI Director Kash Patel, and said the agency has been involved since the initial stages. He emphasized the UFC's zero-tolerance stance on match manipulation. "If you try to do this, we will be your worst enemy. We will go after you guns blazing with the FBI and whoever else we need to get." White stressed that while there is currently no conclusive proof that Dolgaren intentionally fixed the fight, the pattern of bets and the timing of wagers warranted a full investigation. Addressing online claims that federal regulators flagged more than 100 UFC fights for abnormal betting this year, White dismissed those reports as exaggerated clickbait. He noted that UFC partner IC3 monitors wagering activity and that only a limited number of incidents have merited scrutiny. White also responded to fighters publicly claiming they were approached to throw bouts, urging those athletes to report such approaches to law enforcement immediately rather than only speaking about them on social media. White reiterated that the ongoing investigations into prior incidents will be consolidated with the current inquiry, underscoring the organization's commitment to uncovering any wrongdoing. He reiterated that accused parties will be afforded due process, but that the UFC will cooperate fully with authorities and pursue legal action where warranted. He encouraged transparency from fighters and vowed continued cooperation with regulatory bodies and sportsbooks to strengthen monitoring and investigative processes, moving forward without hesitation. Former UFC champion BJ Penn was arrested in Hawaii following an alleged assault on a man earlier this week. According to reports from Island News, the incident occurred in the early hours of Tuesday morning when Hawaii Island police responded to a call about an assault at a private residence. Authorities stated that a 45-year-old man reported being attacked by Penn, claiming that the former fighter punched and kicked him multiple times before the victim managed to escape and contact the police. Law enforcement officials located Penn later that morning around 11:50 a.m., where he was taken into custody without incident. He was subsequently charged with third-degree assault and later released after posting a $1,000 bail. Penn is expected to make his first court appearance related to the case on December 2. This latest arrest marks the sixth time Penn has been detained by authorities this year, continuing a troubling pattern of legal issues that have shadowed the former champion since his retirement from professional mixed martial arts. BJ Penn, once celebrated as one of the greatest fighters in UFC history, has struggled with multiple off-the-octagon controversies in recent years. His repeated run-ins with the law have involved various altercations and alleged assaults, raising concern among fans and members of the MMA community about his personal well-being and behavior since stepping away from active competition. Known for his fearless fighting style and historic achievements, including holding titles in 2 different UFC weight divisions, Penn's legacy has increasingly been overshadowed by his legal troubles and public incidents. Police have not released additional details about the motive behind the latest altercation or the extent of the victim's injuries. However, reports suggest that investigators are continuing to gather statements and evidence related to the case. Local authorities have confirmed that the matter will proceed through standard legal channels, and no further comments will be made until after the court hearing. Penn's arrest has once again sparked debate within the MMA community about the challenges athletes face after retirement, particularly regarding mental health, lifestyle transitions, and substance-related issues. Many fans expressed disappointment over yet another negative headline involving the Hall of Famer, while others voiced hope that Penn will seek help and address the underlying issues contributing to his repeated legal encounters. As the case moves forward, all eyes will be on Penn's upcoming court appearance to determine what consequences, if any, he will face following this most recent incident. Sean Strickland has remained out of action since his rematch loss to Dricus du Plessis at UFC 312 back in February. The former middleweight champion has kept a relatively low profile since that bout, but recent activity on social media suggests his return to the octagon may be near. Last night, Strickland took to his Instagram story to share an update that caught the attention of fans across the MMA community. In his post, he wrote, "Suspension is almost up. Thank baby Jesus," signaling that his period of inactivity, which followed disciplinary measures from the Athletic Commission, is nearly over. Shortly after that post, interaction on his social media page fueled even more speculation about his comeback fight. A fan commented on Strickland's most recent post, writing, "MB next," a possible reference to a future opponent or matchup suggestion. Strickland quickly responded, replying, "Going to be fluffy." The response immediately sparked a wave of discussion online, with many interpreting the remark as a hint toward a potential fight with middleweight contender Anthony "Fluffy" Hernandez. Hernandez has been climbing the ranks in the middleweight division with impressive performances and a string of dominant victories, earning a reputation for his relentless pace and grappling heavy style. A matchup between Strickland and Hernandez would offer an intriguing stylistic clash. Strickland's crisp, pressure-heavy boxing and elite takedown defense against Hernandez's aggressive submissions and relentless forward movement. Fans have already taken to social media and online forums to share their thoughts on the potential fight, with opinions split between whether Hernandez's ground game could overwhelm Strickland or if Strickland's elite striking and experience against top-tier competition would prove too much for the surging contender. Many believe this matchup could serve as a pivotal fight for both men, potentially determining who remains in the upper echelon of the middleweight rankings heading into 2026. If the matchup is made official, it would mark Strickland's return to the octagon after nearly a year away, and it would offer Hernandez the biggest opportunity of his career so far. The UFC has yet to announce any confirmation, but Strickland's comments strongly suggest that his comeback is imminent. Fans are now eagerly awaiting an official announcement from the UFC to see whether this potential showdown between Sean Strickland and Anthony "Fluffy" Hernandez will indeed materialize. Ariel Helwani revealed live on his program that he received a text message alleging knowledge of fixed contests inside the UFC. During the broadcast, Helwani said the message claimed one bout had been definitively thrown and that 2 additional fights had been attempted to be fixed. He described the exchange in real time, telling viewers that the sender insisted they were 100% certain about the fight that was thrown and believed the other 2 were clear attempts. Helwani paused to emphasize the seriousness of such an allegation while clarifying he had only the text and no independent verification at that moment. Helwani explained that the text arrived while he was live and that he had not yet corroborated the claims. He reiterated his intention to treat the allegation responsibly, stating he would seek confirmation from multiple sources and, if appropriate, notify authorities and regulators. Rather than engage in speculation about motive or identity, he framed the message as an example of why robust monitoring and investigative procedures are critical whenever unusual betting patterns or suspicious conduct surface around a bout. He also considered the broader implications for mixed martial arts, noting that even unproven accusations can damage reputations and erode public confidence in the sport. Helwani stressed the importance of due process and the roles that athletic commissions, sportsbooks, promotions, and law enforcement play in establishing fact from rumor. He cautioned the audience against amplifying raw claims without supporting evidence and emphasized journalistic responsibility in handling sensitive allegations. Throughout the segment, Helwani invited guests and industry experts to discuss how such tips should be handled, asking about best practices for reporting, verifying, and escalating potential match manipulation. The conversation covered commonly used monitoring systems, the indicators that often prompt investigations, and the legal pathways available when criminal behavior is suspected. Panelists highlighted the necessity of cooperation between commissions, promotions, and federal authorities when patterns suggest coordinated wrongdoing. Helwani closed the segment by committing to follow up responsibly. He pledged to continue verifying the claim, to provide updates only when information proved reliable, and to avoid presenting unconfirmed allegations as fact. He urged anyone with credible information to report it to the proper authorities so alleged misconduct can be examined thoroughly and fairly. He emphasized that protecting athletes and preserving the integrity of mixed martial arts requires transparency, rigorous investigation, and responsible journalism, and said he would continue to press sources and regulators until the matter was clarified.